act on the results in a constituency, the returning officer will defer the declaration of the winning candidate or group of candidates until the overseas votes are counted.
Well, Dom, I think it's time now to go over to one of our reporters on the ground, Ho Yin Ni, who is in Jalan Besar with the latest on NSP supporters. Yin Ni.
Well, I'm here at the Lavender Food Court, just opposite the NSP's headquarters at Jalan Besar. Well, some of the supporters are here tonight, but most of the crowd, many of them dressed in the party's trademark orange, has dispersed after being asked by the party to leave. Now, one of the party's candidates, Nicole Seah, had also posted on Facebook that they were advised by the police to do so. Well, earlier this evening, we spotted a few plainclothes policemen and also a police car making its rounds here. What I understand is that the party was concerned that too large a crowd would amount to an illegal assembly, and that's why they've asked the supporters to go home. The party did not apply for an assembly permit this time round to gather their supporters, but perhaps, they underestimated the Nicole Seah effect. Now, many of the supporters I spoke to earlier this evening said that they had come here specially to see her and had been waiting for almost 2 hours just to do so. Well, most of the candidates are not here yet. Most of them, in fact, all of them are at the various counting centres. But I understand that they will make their way down to the party headquarters here at Jalan Besar after the results are out. Back to you.
All right, Ho Yin Ni there at Jalan Besar. We now go to Geraldine So. She is at the PKMS building, which is also a component party of SDA. Geraldine, what do you have for us?
Yes, the big question here is what is going to happen to the election results for Punggol East SMC, the largest SMC and the only one in Singapore to face a three-cornered fight. And of course, the SDA's Desmond Lim is up against the Workers' Party's Lee Li Lian, as well as PAP's Michael Palmer. Mr. Lim and Mr. Palmer have been working the ground here in Punggol East since the last general election, whereas Ms. Lee Li Lian has only just come in this election. And despite that, Mr. Lim especially has been facing immense pressure to withdraw from this election because people think that would give a greater chance for Ms. Lee to actually get a higher percentage of the votes. But Mr. Lim has stood very firm in his ground. However, I understand that Mr. Lim has just arrived downstairs. I'm on the 4th floor of the building. He's just arrived back from the counting centre. He seems a bit resigned to the fact that he may not be getting the win that he had so hoped very much for, and he's told some of the reporters that he may need to rethink his strategy as maybe perhaps recruit more younger members into the team. Whereas for the other division that's being contested is a 6-member team from SDA for the Pasir Ris Punggol GRC, and they are up against the PAP helmed by Teo Chee Hean, a defence minister, a political veteran who's been in this GRC for about since 1997. And what happens is that there was a dispute earlier at the one of the counting centres, Pasir Ris Crest Secondary School. And what happens is that there was apparently some of the crosses were not indicated clearly on the ballot papers, but I'm told that this has since been resolved.
Well, the latest there on SDA from Geraldine So. Now, some of the most closely watched constituencies being contested this election will be those contested by the Workers' Party. So let's go over to get the latest from Imelda Saad, who is at Hougang Stadium, where Workers' Party supporters are gathered. Imelda.
Well, thousands have gathered here at Hougang Stadium. In fact, they started streaming in as early as 5:30 this evening. The stands have filled up. The field behind me has filled up. They've brought with them flags, they've brought with them banners, they've brought with them Workers' Party's umbrellas and even inflatable hammers, the symbol of the Workers' Party. Of course, the hotly contested seat here is Aljunied GRC. Everyone wants to know if the Workers' Party will be able to take control of Aljunied GRC, and if that happens, that will be a breakthrough for the opposition, because that will be the first time that an opposition party will be able to take control of a group representation constituency here in Singapore. And of course, the other ward that everyone here wants to know about is, of course, Hougang single-member constituency. Workers' Party Secretary General Lau Tia Kian has left his stronghold of Hougang to contest in Aljunied. And of course, the question is, will the Workers' Party be able to retain the seat of Hougang with its candidate, Lau Shin Leong? Back to you in the studio.
Not camera shy at all, those Workers' Party supporters.
That's right.
Waving there.
And I believe earlier we spoke to some supporters out there who live out in Hougang. So if we could listen to that.
Yeah, maybe some fitness corners would be good. Yeah. You don't see any fitness corner in this area that we can use for public, yeah, for the residents.
Rising food, cost of living is very high now. Transportation are very morning quite crowded. You could get bus in the morning.
A better MP who can sort of do things for us, approachable, and things that we needed to be done can be done for us.
Well, young candidates, PAP's Desmond Chu and Workers' Party's Yao Shin Leong are vying to replace Mr. Lau Tia Kiang, who's contesting Aljunied GRC in this election.
Well, the big question on a lot of people's minds would be, has Mr. Lau left a strong enough legacy to ensure a Workers' Party win, or will his absence turn the tide for the PAP?
Well, here's a look at the fight for Hougang.
It draws its name from the Hokkien and Teochew words Aokang, which means river's end. And there is an end of an era, that is, for Hougang residents. The departure of their popular MP, Lau Tia Kiang, after 20 years, has opened the door to 2 new candidates.
Mr. Lau has built upon a very strong foundation, but you see, it's important for the new candidate, and in this instance, that's me, to strengthen, deepen, and to build upon it.
The election is never about Shin Leong or myself. It's going to be about the voters. It's going to be about who can serve the residents better. I think that is what that matters the most.
The PAP says that although the absence of Mr. Lau makes the battle for Hougang not as tough as before, it still considers itself the underdog. But on the surface, there seems to be little to differentiate the 2 men, making this contest hard to call. Mr. Yao and Mr. Chu are both young and relatively new. And they speak Teochew, an important skill to help connect with the mainly Teochew community in Hougang. But the fight for the seat has intensified beyond the contest of the 2 candidates. While Hougang residents were previously not swayed by the upgrading carrot offered by the PAP, maintenance of the ward is a top concern. The PAP says flats in Hougang are lower in value compared to those in PAP-held wards. The Workers' Party has rebutted these comments, saying that Hougang is not a slum. The Workers' Party has also been pitching its overall campaign as a fight for more opposition voices in Parliament. The former PAP candidate for the ward once described Hougang as a chiku that was ripe for the picking. On May 7th, Hougang residents will decide which party gets to enjoy the sweetness of the fruit.
Well, time now to serve our Malay-speaking viewers on MediaCorp's Suria channel with my colleague Osman Buhari. Osman.
Thank you, Melissa. Saudara, setelah pengundian berakhir tadi, kotak-kotak undi telah dibawa ke 163 pusat kiraan undi yang tidak dibuka kepada orang ramai. Dan keputusan akan diumumkan dari satu tempat sahaja, iaitu di Jabatan Pilihan Raya di Prinsep Street. Para penyokong parti-parti yang bertanding telah disediakan tempat-tempat berhimpun berasingan untuk bersama calon-calon mereka menunggu keputusan pilihan raya tahun 2011. Parti Tindakan Rakyat menggunakan 3 pusat perhimpunan para penyokongnya, iaitu di Stadium Toa Payoh, Stadium Bedok dan Stadium Jurong West. 6 pusat diperuntukkan bagi para penyokong pembangkang. WP di Stadium Hougang, NSP di Ibu Pejabat Parti di Jalan Besar, SDA di bangunan PKMS, SPP di Padang Potong Pasir Avenue 1, SDP di Hotel Quality dan Parti Reform di Stadium Clementi. Pengundi muda membentuk sepertiga daripada sekitar 2.2 juta pengundi dalam pilihan raya kali ini. Ramai di antara mereka merupakan pengundi kali pertama. Dari segi calon-calon yang bertanding juga, sebilangan besar merupakan golongan muda. Dapatkah generasi baru ini membawa Singapura ke arah masa depan yang lebih cerah?
This country belongs to the young people.
Sejumlah 634,000